How's it going, everyone? My name is Chris from One More Game MTG, and the Commander Legends Baldur's Gate Commander deck, Party Time, has just been announced. And we're going to really see if it's party time right now. Before we begin, I'd like to remind everyone of our free access Discord where we talk all things Magic. You can also find us and connect to us on Instagram and Twitter. I can't wait to see you there. Additionally, if you wish to support us even further, you will find our affiliate link to TCG Player in the description down below. The face commander of this deck is Nalia Dionys. It is 1 white and black for a 3/3 human rogue. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may cast a cleric, rogue, warrior, and warrior spells from the top of your library. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you have a full party, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control, and those creatures gain Death Touch until end of turn. The main priority of this deck is to build an epic party consisting of clerics, rogues, warriors, and wizards to establish the utmost epic party. In years past, the party mechanic has been pretty decent, and with the addition of an entire commander deck focused on this, we receive even more value. It may be a downside to some that this is only in Orzhov, but this creates a more focused victory. With this commander, it allows you to go wide effectively with being able to cast creatures from the top of the library and buff the entire team once the fully party has been assembled. Being only one creature for the party though has its faults. With so many options in this deck, you'll be able to achieve a full party in no time. Now if you don't want to run this as the main commander, there is a secondary option with a background pair. With that, we have Barakos Party Leader and Folk Hero. Barakos is a 2/4 orc for 3 and a black, and it is a cleric, a rogue, a warrior, and a wizard in addition. Whenever Barakos attacks, the defending player loses X life and you create X treasure tokens, where X is the number of creatures in your party. Folk Hero is a 1 and a white enchantment that reads, commander creatures you own have, whenever you cast a spell that shares a creature type with this creature, you draw a card. This ability only triggers once per turn. Orzhov again is getting such a great combination of cards. Barakos Party Leader is exactly that, a party leader. This is something I was hoping with the face commander, but it's great that we have it as a secondary option. Barakos, even though he is an orc at the forefront, he is also a cleric, rogue, warrior, and a wizard. This enables a full party far more quick. Then when you begin to form your party, he also gives you a life loss to your opponents and a pseudo ramp with treasure token. This is one of the best well-rounded commanders in the set. Then you follow it up with the background, which can lead to so much draw. Granted, it may only trigger once per turn, but that extra draw goes a long way. With new precon sets, the community is always excited to see what new cards of higher value are being reprinted in this set, in the hopes that the overall cost of the cards come down. First is Savine's Reclamation, 2 and a white for a great sorcery with flashback. You return target permanent card with a mana value of 3 or less and you grave it to the battlefield. And then guess what? It has flashback for 4 and a white to bring back 2 items. This is something that is played in so many decks, but the overall cost was just a bit too high. Now being reprinted, hopefully this will bring the cost down substantially. Then there's Skull Clamp, an absolute staple in Commander, which needs to be reprinted even more. It is an equipment that reads, target creature gets +1/-1, and when the equipped creature were to die, you draw 2 cards, with simply an equip cost of 1. This in some cases can be pay 1, draw 2 cards. This has got a lot of value on it, which is even better for the next card, Maskwood Nexus, something that any overall tribal deck would absolutely need. It's 4 generic for creatures you control or every creature type. The same is true for creature spells you control and creature cards you own that aren't in the battlefield. Pay 3 and tap it to create a 2/2 blue shapeshifter creature token with Changeling. Changelings are the easiest way to achieve your party, so it's awesome that they include this. So no matter what happens, as long as you have 4 creatures on the battlefield with the Nexus, you're going to have a full party right away. One card that is always welcome is more ramp. Talisman Hierarchy is 2 generic for an artifact that taps for a single colorless, or you can either tap for white or black, dealing 1 damage to you. 2 mana rocks are absolutely always welcome. I'm super excited that this was reprinted. The next card is a card I just didn't even realize was a card. Calculating Lich, 4 black for a 5/5 zombie wizard with menace. Whenever a creature attacks one of your opponents, that player loses 1 life. It's kind of weird to see this in this deck, but it's still great. It was almost a $12 card, and now being reprinted will definitely bring the value down. Super excited. Even more excited for Grim Hireling, a 3/2 Tiefling Rogue for 3 and a black. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, you create 2 treasure tokens. Pay a black, sacrifice X target tokens, and target creature gets -X/-X until end of turn, and activate as a sorcery. This is a great card. It was around near the $10 price range, and now with this reprint, I am glad at it because it's much needed. I've never seen a Tiefling, but it's the awesome part is it's a rogue, so it's going to add to your party even additional too. And that better ability is to a player. So if you swing at 3 opponents and they deal combat damage to 3 players, you can create 6 treasure tokens off of 1 guy. That's awesome. Then there's Mother of Runes. For a single white, you get a 1/1 human cleric that taps, and then target creature you control gains protection from the color of your choice. I completely forgot this wasn't reprinted in a very long time, so this is a pretty notable inclusion. Another great inclusion would be Selfless Spirit. A 2/1 Spirit Cleric for 1 and a white with flying. Sacrifice it, creature you control gain indestructible until end of turn. This card was getting up to nearly $10 and it's going down even more with this reprint. It was rounding around the $5 range, but now we have a card that is going to be thrown into a lot of decks to give that pseudo effect at any given moment. Another card that I didn't actually expect to see in this deck was Vault of the Archangel. It's a land that taps for a single generic mana, but you can pay 2 and Orzhov to tap it. Creatures you control gain Death Touch and Lifelink until end of turn. Completely forget about this card, but it puts in so much work, so it's great to be added to this deck. And then lastly, a card that any tribal deck should have is Mutavault. Taps to add 1 generic, but you can pay 1 and it becomes a 2/2 creature with all creature types until end of turn, and it's still a land. So if you only have 3 creatures in your party, but you really need to get that 1 extra creature out there, you can create Mutavault into a 2/2 shapeshifter and establish your party right away. And those are the notable reprints. Are you inviting yourself to this party, or have you already RSVP'd to the event? So that's my quick take on the new commander with so many new options, and guess what? There's even more reprints. I'm always excited to see a new precon come out. Now I hope you enjoyed reviewing this deck with me. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to check out the Instagram and Twitter for any new updates coming in the future. Everything is listed down in the description down below. And remember, one more game is just never enough.